no regrets.
Whoa. Luca, we're engaged!
No, we're engaged.
Oh shoot, finally spilling the tea of how it all went down. Let's go.
Show me life, show me love, make it.
We're both in black. Is that a good sign?
It's a memorial service for me.
We've been engaged for 3 months, but we never actually shared with you guys the full story of how we got engaged. We are gonna share with you all the details of how we got engaged. It started off with a Europe trip, and everyone told me like, okay, you guys are going to Europe, you're clearly getting engaged. I'm like, we are not. Like, Alan is the most logical person I've met on this planet. I'm the one who planned the Europe trip, so everyone needs to just like stop saying that because this is not going down. So we went to Europe. It was so freaking fun. We started in Paris, which is obviously the city of love, and we just had so much fun.
No, wasn't happening there.
Wasn't happening?
No, from the get-go, it wasn't happening in Paris.
No. We loved Paris. We had so much fun though in Paris, and what was really beautiful, I felt like, is that we finally got to like bond one-on-one for obviously an extended time, and no distractions at all, because a lot of you guys know I work the weekend with my job, so we hadn't had like even just like a couple days together
in a little while. Yeah,
yeah, in like a year. So we were in Paris, and we had 5 days in Paris, and it was honestly so magical, so beautiful. Every day was just so much fun, and what I really loved was getting to see how we like interacted being in an international country. So how did you feel like at this point in Paris, like about our relationship?
Well, I had already known going into this well before Paris, so Paris didn't really impact it in any way, negatively in any way. I mean, obviously, like she said, we had a lot more time to spend together where it was just her and I doing things, interacting, literally exploring a city that I think you said you've been to once, but I've never been to. So we're doing all these things, and there is a bit of the first, say 24 hours is a little rougher than the rest because we had to figure out our roles in the dynamic.
The roles of our relationship.
Well, we found out she's the language person. She speaks French very well, so she was all about communication with others. I have enough north, south, east, west sense to be navigation and figure out, hey, this is our street, hey, that's our street. Plus Google Maps helps.
Yeah, I feel like once we established our like roles and our purpose and what we each were good at, then it was like smooth sailing. And what was really cool is I felt like we both really valued the same things in terms of travel. Like, we loved exploring, we loved having somewhat of a plan, but being a little more open, so we could stop at the coffee shops, we could spend a day literally just trying to find the best pastries. Were you getting nervous at all?
No, actually, honestly, there was a brief moment before it happened that I was like, holy crap, yep, this is about to happen. And there was some nerves, but then I was just like, kind of shook that off. Like,
but you weren't nervous like leading up to Paris and then trying to get to Italy?
Nope.
Okay, so basically from Paris.
Solid as a rock.
Solid, that's what I need. Even the doctor calls me a Gumby because of my loose joints. So I'm like, I need a solid rock. Get to Florence, which is part of my family is from Florence, so it was really, really special. So talk to me about how you're feeling in Florence.
I was excited to see the city. I was looking forward to more exploration with Ashley here. Once we got to Florence, Florence was the centerpiece of the trip. You know, we designed, I know she did plan a majority of the trip.
So we both end up loving Florence. Florence is a little more like slower paced than Rome and France, but still so lively, so adventurous. Absolutely best food.
Oh, without a doubt. The whole trip, 2 weeks, nothing touched Florence. Nothing. I mean, I think out of my top 5 meals, I think 4 of them were in Florence. Maybe, maybe like all 5 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe all 5. I don't know.
Florence is definitely, I think, our favorite place thus far in the world. Yeah. And it's just so beautiful, and I think I just feel so attached to it because I'm Italian, because my heart and everything slows down when I'm in Europe, especially in Italy. So that leads us to the day of the proposal. We cooked pasta that day.
Was that day?
Yeah, it was. So we were, how was that for you, Anna?
You can tell the excursion.
Okay, so we did an excursion. So I planned like a couple excursions for us scattered throughout the trip. Not every day, but I wanted to make it special. But we had a lot of excursions in Florence because there's just so much that you can do like in the countryside. So I've always wanted to do this, and Alan was kind of like, oh, we'll see if this is fun. And we went to an Italian family's house in Tuscany. And if you guys are interested, I'll put the link below. And we cooked pasta, and it was with a group of about like 10 people. All of them spoke English, almost all of them were American. And I obviously was trying to speak Italian the entire time with the little Italian family, but it was so pure fun. Like me and Alan cooking pasta, seeing you cook pasta, just like.
It was from scratch, like legit. Like we took flour and
we're like, whatever it takes to egg.
Yeah, flour, eggs.
It was so cool. It was like in their outdoor yard. And
oh, it was beautiful.
Definitely something I'd love
overlooking
to create.
the Tuscan countryside. It was gorgeous.
Maybe we can one day have a home in Tuscany, I'm thinking.
Everywhere we go, that she's like, this is so beautiful. Maybe we can have a home here.
Dream big, folks. So we're making our pasta. We're having just the most carefree, luxurious time. We head back to our Airbnb, which is like tiny piccolo little place that was so cute. I think we take a little nap or something. And
I think we did nap that afternoon. It was a long.
It was a lot of pasta. Alan's big thing was that my friend Madeline, shout out to Madeline Barnes, said you're gonna eat gelato every single day and you're gonna love it. So Alan was like, challenge accepted.
Make room in your bellies for all the gelato every single day. Let's go.
So we are getting gelato at a new place in Florence, and
we were sitting there chatting with some of the other travelers and tourists in the area, just kind of, and then we started looking at the time and realized the one thing I was recommended to do, and this had nothing to do with an actual proposal, was to go see the sunset while standing at the Piazza Michelangelo, which is kind of this plateau that overlooks the entire city of Florence. So I was like, hey, you know, I really want to do this. And at that point I had already figured out, like, if everything fell into place and it was like it, because I'd never been there, so if it all fell into place and it was as beautiful as it sounded, like that was where I was planning my moment.
So he's like, we gotta go. And at this point, I'm like kind of tired. So I'm like, who cares? Like, I do not lie about this. I'm not gonna try to over romanticize my journey to this place.
She's every corner we turned, there's more. Oh my gosh. And all I kept telling her was, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. And the best part about going up this hill is we get about a little over halfway up. And I'm telling her, it'll be worth it. And at this point, I'm like 10, maybe 12 steps ahead of her. And some random person coming down, going the other way, goes, oh my gosh, it'll so be worth it. And I'm literally walking the other way, laughing, going, she has no idea.
So we're at the top, gorgeous, insanely beautiful views, and everyone's kind of looking at one side, which is the sunset.
An arduous walk. You have reached the top, folks. Look. It is well worth it. You're gonna be here with a million other people probably, but you just take turns getting your view. And as Alan said, and as he made me run here, you want to come at sunset because it really is just the most gorgeous time.
And then Alan goes, Ashley, come over to this side.
Yeah, we went. I felt like it was too crowded in that place. There wasn't really a spot to get a good view / position, because there was just a lot of people on the side where the sunset is, because everybody wanted the view and the shot and the picture and the video. And so I had, you know, said, let's go check out the other side of the plaza. And we headed over there, and actually it was equally spectacular views of the city. Like, you're just looking over the city of Florence, and it's
So
it almost wrapped around the whole plaza. The other side was mostly just like city homes, stuff like
had
that.
barely anyone over there, so we had like pretty much the whole other side to ourselves. At this point, I take out my vlogging camera because I'm like, Alan, vlog me. I want you to. I've never been more peaceful in my life. And so we take out the camera and I'm like, it's like my heartbeat and my pulse and my energy has slowed down here in Florence. And I asked Alan if like, is this the same for you? Like, I just feel so relaxed and so just at peace. Just get ready to just like slow down and enjoy, because that, I can't describe the feeling. It's a weird, amazing feeling and not something you feel every day. That's just like, peace. Guys, I'm the most peaceful I've ever been, and I'm trying to figure out if it's because I'm Italian and I'm like in my birthplace or if it's just like, yeah, and also just like us getting to bond together. Like I was just like, I just know deep down in my soul that travel has to be a really big part of our lives, and I was just so incredibly happy.
When I first got here, I noticed how like loud, and not in a bad way, but just like happy. Like we're walking down the street and there's all these restaurants that have seating outside and just in the middle of the street, and people were just out having fun and laughing, and like it was I don't know, it was really pleasing.
He's trying to set up his little camera. So he had a little tripod.
I have a tripod that attaches to the case on my phone, and I'll admit my only disappointment in this thing was it was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. It was like, it ended up being only about 18 inches. I thought it'd be at least like maybe 3 feet tall, but it ended up being about 18 inches tall. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this. I want to get, you know, picture or video or something like that, and I'm bound and determined to use the thing. And she's just kind of like, okay, like do your thing. And
so I just keep staring at the views, and he sets up the tripod. If he didn't do it quicker, then I probably would have been like, ah. But I was like, oh, are we taking a picture? And then you just start like speaking.
Yeah, I did. I came up, started talking, and there was some moments where I think you said something about, can we just do this more often?
Yeah.
And then I came in with the cheesy line of, how about we do this forever? And there was this brief moment, even in the video, where you can see her short circuit, because she realizes what could potentially be happening, but her brain just shuts off. And
it truly does.
She,
because I was like, I had so many thoughts in my head. I was like,
yeah, no,
it was
an overload of information.
Yeah.
She had one thought, and then she had 14,000 other thoughts all hit her brain at the same time, and her brain just kind of went shut down.
Well, I truly thought he was giving me a verbal like declaration of his love, because I was like, he doesn't have a ring. He wasn't proposed. Like, this wasn't the plan. And I really thought, Alan's not gonna buy a ring like when we just paid for, you know, kind of expensive trip to Europe. And I just felt like so many things, like, as the logical person, he would be like, no, 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 no. So I thought you were just like being like, I love you.
Yeah.
Then you got down on one knee, and I don't even think I realized you were on a knee.
Yeah. Well, that's because you're short and I was still almost as tall as you.
Yeah.
Pulled out a ring, and there was a moment, like, there was a good 5 seconds where I don't even know if she knew I had a ring in my hand.
No, I was like, and then I thought it was a fake ring, because I thought he like just got it in Florence because he was feeling pressure from like his friends.
Oh, little side note, yeah, well, she was using my camera for my phone for taking pictures and video and stuff like that.
This part's crazy.
I actually had 2 separate people, friends and family, message me to my phone, and you know, so once I connect to Wi-Fi anywhere over there, all of a sudden, ding, message pops up. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like immediately freaking out. I'm like, stop messaging me, she uses my phone for so much stuff right now.
So Alan would just like give me his phone or I'd just take it for, it was like a mutual, it was not like I was just taking his
videos,
phone.
Pictures,
Just,
whatever, but like I literally had
friends.
I had a friend message me like, oh my gosh, we're stalking your social medias, trying to figure out when it's gonna happen, and I'm like, stop, you can't tell me stuff like that right now. We're don't worry about it. Like,
Yeah.
stop.
I'm so glad I didn't see any of that, and obviously you could tell I had zero clue.
No.
So I just so then when I realized I still think it's a fake ring, I'm like, is this real?
Oh, yeah.
Are we in a movie? Like, I give a whole like monologue.
Oh, I think she asked if she was being punked.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Is it a real ring? Are we on TV? She's looking around. It was I think I was on my knee for a good minute and a half before she finally said, of course, yes. And then there was like random people in the distance clapping because they noticed what was happening. So it was a whole thing. It was
And then I was eventually like, yes, baby, yes!
Yeah, exactly. That was the moment where I was like, okay, fine, Mary.
Okay, fine.
I'm sitting there holding the ring down on one knee. I'm like,
it was so cute. And then, yeah, I was just crying for literally, I honestly feel like I was crying for 2 hours.
oh yeah, I literally told her she had to drink a bottle of water on the way home.
Yeah, because I was
pretty sure she was dehydrated.
I just kept crying. And then I was like, oh my God, does my dad know? Like, I was just so confused at how far in advance he planned this. And he obviously planned this pretty far in, like at least a month out.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, and yes, my dad knew, so we FaceTimed my dad, FaceTime, and then we
FaceTimed my mom.
FaceTimed his mom, which was so sweet. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I was like, I don't have a mom, so you have to be my mom. So glad we didn't plan anything right after that, because I was just like, so emotionally overwhelmed. And then the next day it was more fun because we talked to more members of my family. We got to ride on Vespas, and it was just the most, from that point on, I was like, la la.
Yeah, she's just floating in the sky.
I'm like, this is my fiance.
Oh yeah, I was her fianzato for all of the rest of the trip, which is Italian for fiance.
So that was just so beautiful, and we're gonna get married in the Italian countryside.
Oh yeah?
No.
Okay.
We're not. I wish we could. I wish that wouldn't be so incredibly expensive for our guests. But we are getting married somewhere pretty cool, but we're not gonna share that in this video. In my little post that I put about Alan and his love, I put, because I always call him my sweetheart, and you call me what?
My sweet soul.
And it's just so sweet. And you are my sweetheart to your sweet soul. And I say, you're the, what do I say? You're the butter to my sage, the coffee to my croissant.
I don't know. You did go off on a tangent one day on the way home.
Here's what it is, guys. All the things that make life just a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I think that's good, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for doing this video with me.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to document our journey. Are you excited for that? Guys, it would mean the world to us if you're interested in following our journey. I know so many of you have asked for this video. I think the algorithm says 94% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed, and it really does help my channel if you would just hit that subscribe button. You can hit the bell so you also get alerted when I post a new video every week on Saturdays. And thank you guys so much for following along on our journey. Any final thoughts?
No regrets.
Whoa. That's a good one. What if you were like, redo?
I'm leaving this weekend and I'm not coming back.
Any other thoughts, Alan?
Just to give you guys an idea, she's fully standing. I am not until now.
So, funny side note, I always forget how tall Alan is because he always, this is so
I always
dumb.
have to crouch down like this
This is so dumb.
to take pictures.
But I
and
always feel like
squat.
we're the same size.
We are not.
Come here, Alan.
That's kind of a cute thumbnail.
Men, put a ring on it.
I'm so annoying. I hate me as much as
Show
you.
me love, make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the